I'm finishing replacing worn out wheel bearing. In this episode we're going to install the steering knuckle back on our Toyota Echo. Everything is usual in details, torque specs, tools, tips. Let's get started. Here we go, we're back to our Toyota Echo, no steering knuckle. Okay, let's clean the splines with a spray of brake clean. Just remove all that old grease, dirt, dust, rust before putting it back in place. And I'm going to apply light coat of anti-seized compound on the splines. You don't need much, just a little bit, and a little bit on the threads. It will protect it from rusting out. Yes. Okay, here's our steering knuckle. We just replaced the wheel bearing, brand new Timken, and let's just put it on raw. Let's get a knuckle on lower control arm ball joint. Here we go. Line up a CV axle splines, get it through the wheel bearing. As you can see, everything's coming all well together. That first step. Alright, next let's start our lock nut. Just a few threads, just keep it in, make sure it won't fall off. We'll get to that big lock nut later. If you're first time to the channel, please subscribe, click that notification bell, very appreciated that. Okay, I just have it hand tied. Next, let's start the lower control arm ball joint crown nut. Just a few threads, just start it, make sure it's down. Here we go. Alright, let's align the holes on a strut assembly with a knuckle. Alright, here's our bolts. We're reusing them. Guys, if this video is helpful, informational, educational, interesting to watch, put a thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to put a light coat of anti-seized compound. We're using a copper one, you don't need lots. Alright, in this video I will share torque specs, but always verify and check the torque specs for your specific model and year. I'm working on 2005 Toyota Echo with a standard manual 5-speed transmission. Okay, here's the nuts. Let's just start them by hand. Few threads. As you can see, everything is pretty straightforward, and this video is only for demonstration, what works for me and how I do it. Okay, let's get our tie rod end in as well, connect it to the steering knuckle. Just put a little bit of anti-seized on a crown nut, push it in and start it few threads like that. It will go. Make sure it goes straight without cross threading. That's the last thing you want to happen. Nothing takes longer than the same job you have to do twice. Make sure everything line up. Here we go, everything started. We have it raw seating in place. That's how it looks like. We'll get to the brake caliper later. Let's get back to our 125 measuring value, what we have when we were removing. Remember, check episode number 1. We measured that distance for a raw camber alignment. Okay, 19 mil wrench and a deep 19 socket. I'm using my rigid half-inch impact driver, works great. Let's just snag those nuts. Well, 125, that's alignment we had before, that value before we took the knuckle off the strut. Now we're setting the same measurement back, and we'll save our tires. Eventually I will recommend to go and do an alignment, but it's good for now. This won't be far off and vehicle won't pull to the side. Okay, I have those nuts tight. Now I'm going and torque them up to 97 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, yeah, always use a torque wrench. Yeah, that way you have everything torqued properly with manufacturer required specifications. I'm tightening in lower control arm ball joint nut. Let's just tighten a little bit more our tie rod and nut as well. Okay, now I'm applying a pressure to the lower control arm to push it through, and that will prevent that stud from spinning. And we're going to tighten it all the way down and torque it to 72 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, alright, that one's done. Let's just put a cotter pin through the crown nut like that and push it all the way through. And torque specs for tie rod and to steering knuckle is 36 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, the both ball joint nut and tie rod and nut as well, they are crown nuts. We're using those pins. Bend one part of the pin up like so, and bottom one slightly down on an angle like that. Beautiful. Okay, same on our lower ball joint as well. Well, you got it. Okay, dust shield, or put it back. There's just 3 10mm bolts. Let's get those ones in place. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, comments, critics, suggestions, put everything down in the comment section below under the video. I applied a little bit of anti-seize compound, especially on the small size fasteners like those 10mm bolts. They like to snap, but anti-seize will prevent them from rusting out, and it saves really time, especially if you live in a rust belt. We're not, but those ones are known to break. Yeah, I'm starting each and every one of them by hand. Few threads, 10mm, pretty straightforward. Okay, good. Now time for our ABS sensor wire. Make sure you won't get any dirt or debris or anti-seize on ABS sensor. Make sure it's clean. Just wipe it with a clean rag. It's a magnetic. Keep it away from the metal objects. It's very precise sensor. It needs to be fit properly with a required gap against the reluctor wheel. Okay, sensor is in. Let's line up the ear and start the bolt. Yeah, torque specs for ABS mounting bolt is 71 inch-pound of torque. All right, sensor's back. Let's place the ABS wire harness in a bracket. Make sure it's nice and secured. Won't rub against anything and will break. Keep it clean. Let's get our brake rotor on the wheel hub. You can see it. Line up the studs. Here we go. Push it in. Oh, all right. Brake caliper is here. Make sure the brake hose is not twisted. Straight. Pay attention to that. Okay. Let's get our brake caliper over the mounting bracket. Slide it over the brake rotor. Nice, and we're going to put our brake caliper bracket bolts. Torque specs for those bolts 65 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, one on the bottom, one on the top. Yeah, pretty easy. Everything just coming all together nicely. Yeah, we'll be ready to get back on the road in an hour. Yeah, with a new Timken wheel bearing. All right. Let's put a tire back. Everything's in place. Alright. And torque our tire to 75, 80 foot-pounds of torque. I go 80. Yeah, check your specifications. And it goes on a cross pattern, and we will also torque that. Axle nut. Alright. yeah, as you can see, everything's pretty straightforward. Nothing's really complicated. Yeah, this Toyota Echo serves me well. Very uncomfortable vehicle to drive, but it's cheap. And you got what you pay. Yeah, I pick it up. This one's broken with issues with the transmission and clutch. Okay, let's tie the lug nuts on the cross pattern. I just drive the nuts down, not tightening yet, and here we go. Nice. Vehicle still up in the air. We'll torque it later when we'll have everything on the ground. Okay, yeah, let's drop it down, and now we can run our 30 mil with impact. Let's just drive the nut all the way down. And torque specs for CV axle lock nut is 159 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, we're going to show that thing in a few seconds. Yeah, this video is only for demonstration, what works for me. You can put a block ahead to prevent it from rolling, or if you have a help, you just press the brake and it will do the trick. Okay, let's bend the edge of the lock nut to prevent it from turning out accidentally. You can see there's a slot. Bend it in and all will be good. Yeah, this is how I do it. Yeah, it works for me. Let me know if you have any questions. As I said, thank you so much guys for your time watching this video. Appreciated that. Well, take care everybody, and see you next one. Bye bye now.